do want to do that, but wait, let me see something. Hmm, intriguing. What's poppin', gangsters? We out here, we active and shit. You know what I mean? I've been wanting to do lives more because lives are cool, but I just really haven't. So, I decided I want to stop fucking around. So, yeah, here we are not fucking around. Mhm. Ah, ba-da, da. Let's just delete those. Yeah, get out of here, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was, I was just at the park, right? And I kind of started getting pissed because I was like, bro, holy shit, dude. There are so many guys who like have so much potential. They just won't use their balls, bro. Like, what the fuck? It's like, what is going on? It's like, you're telling me God gave you a pair of balls so that when you have desires, you can inflict your will upon reality and make something happen about them, right? God gave you balls so you can do that, but you're not doing that. That's like mad crazy to me. You know what I mean? And I was just like, this got triggered because I was basically just like thinking about how much of a pussy I was back in college. I was like, bro, I had so much potential, bro. I was just such a bitch. I just didn't use my balls, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, imagine if I had like the confidence I do now with girls back then. It's like, damn, bro. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. And I feel like so many guys are just trapped in their minds. Trapped in their minds. And they want girls, bro. And it's like, bro, I get it. I want girls too. Do you know what I mean? And it's like so many people just aren't willing to like admit that to themselves. And so they never do anything about that. You know what I mean? It's like you have this desire for intimacy, for women, for sex, for even if it's just like for friendship, just having like feminine energy around you. Like just having girlfriends is awesome. A lot of people like to like hate and say like guys and girls can't be friends. And I understand where they're coming from. I understand the mentality behind it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna act like most guys aren't just there so they can fuck or have a potential, right? And hmm, yeah, it's like in a lot of dynamics, since most people are just solely worried about what they want, and they're really not like great friends in general. Like the thing is, hmm, in my opinion, if you want to be like, I know I'm a great friend to like my female friends because I'm very good at speaking the feminine language. And so like when, we're talking, like I was with my homie yesterday, her name is Sada. And Sada's been struggling a lot because she's been going through like this breakup and it's kind of like crazy because there's like I don't know, there's some like crazy bitch who put a hex on her and her ex. So the whole stitch is like wild, right? And so Sada's kind of been going through it a lot. And I've, really just been there at times where I feel like I can show up for her and kind of just like hold space for her because it feels like that's the thing that she needs. You know what I mean? And I actually have like some, hold on, where was it at? I had some points I wrote down like a week ago about like why female friends are good. Wait, where are they at? Let me see if I can find them. Hmm. Ha. I bet. Good list. All right, so basically. You get to give your masculine gifts, right? You get to practice that. And it's in a context where it's not romantic. And so it's like it's not it doesn't have as much pressure. You know what I mean? Like holding space for your female friend is a different dynamic than holding space for your girl. You know what I mean? Because you don't the thing is like when it's your girl, you kind of feel like you have to be there. You know what I mean? And it's like you should, right? And you should want to be there, right? Because that's your girl and you should want to hold space for her and show up for her. That's awesome, right? But it's like, bro, if you don't want to be there and you really can't, then it's like you're not going to be able to like show up for her in that capacity in the capacity she desires. You know what I mean? It's always better to like not even show up than to half-ass show up, honestly. Because like women want your full presence. And if they're not going to get all of it, like they don't even want it at all. You know what I mean? Like women don't want like your half-assery. They want all of it or they want nothing. Right? And so it's like if you can't give her all of yourself in that moment, don't even be there. Don't even be there in that moment. You know what I mean? Just like go dip off or something. But what I was saying is that like when it's your girl, you more often than not, you almost just feel more responsible. You just feel more responsible to showing up for her. Um, but when it's your friend, it's a different dynamic because you just feel like you just want to do it, right? It just feels like you're extending that gift to her because that's, just what you want to do. As a friend, you want to show up for your friend, make sure she, feels heard or understood, recognized because you just want to do that for her, right? Um, and it's a completely different dynamic because you basically still get to practice, these like skills of like giving your masculine gift in terms of like presence and like like in terms of like listening, just like being there, like when women that's like rant a lot, especially when they're like feeling things and they don't know like what's going on in here or in here. They'll just like talk. They'll just talk a lot. And that's good because if you can just like sit there and just listen to her, you don't even need to say anything. You can just sit there and listen to her, kind of like, give her some, some like gestures or some like tones, like oh yeah, whatever, or yeah, I see what you're saying, or oh yeah, I definitely understand, blah blah blah, right? So you can like get her to understand that you're basically doing what you actually like, you're listening to her, right? Basically, show her that you're listening to her. But when you do that, it basically allows you to do that in a dynamic that doesn't feel like as pressured. Like you don't feel as involved in the scenario because this isn't your girl, right? She's just your friend. She's your homie, right? And it's like although you can still show up for her in this capacity, it's just not as attached. And so you kind of like get this ability to practice your masculine gift, your presence, without actually having to be fully in the scenario, or have like you feel like you're committed to this woman or, feel like super emotionally attached to the thing as well. You know what I mean? It's just easier to practice because you're inherently further from the scenario because she's not your girl. You see what I'm getting at here? So that was kind of like a rant. But yeah, I think having female friends is awesome. It's one good to just like practice your own masculinity. It's too good because like feminine energy is just awesome. Like having women around you is cool, bro. Right? Um, and then can I have something else here? Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Like when you have female friends that actually are like cool with you, they'll like hype you up to their friends and you can get put on. Or if if you like position yourself as a guy who has, women in his life, when other women see that, they'll already have more information about you than they wouldn't have previously had. It's basically like, okay, so I'll break this down real quick. When men see a woman, men have like complete information, right? And that's basically like, okay, I see this woman, she is attractive enough for me to fuck her. That's basically what it means. Or like, I want to date her, I want to take things further, whatever, right? But like, you have enough information to be like, okay, I can make something happen here. Like, I can go pursue her now, right? When women see a guy, they have incomplete information, right? Because oh, he might be a creep, he might be a stalker, he might be looking some kind of way, but is he actually masculine? Like, does he have like that masculine frame? He might look hot, but and if I test him, is he gonna break? Whatever, right? And so women have incomplete information. A way that women get more information quicker, right, rather than like actually testing the guy out or like observing him over time, is seeing that other women are around him because that kind of means that they've put the time in themselves. They vetted the guy out. And so that means that if women are hanging around you, you've kind of already been vetted out. And so if other women see that, then they'll be like, oh, okay, this guy's already been vetted out by other women. That means the information that I need is probably likely to already have been met. So this guy's probably good, right? If other women are around him, he's probably good enough for me too. That's kind of like the subconscious programming that goes on. And so, or that's just like the wiring. It's not even programming. That's just how we've been evolved to fucking behave. So that's kind of like that dynamic. I don't know why I even brought that up. Fuck it. The point is that approaching like is so important, bro. Like as like I feel like in especially like in the self-improvement space, right? A lot of guys have this just like so many self-improvement guys are not social at all. I think that's really bad. Because like your social life is so important, bro. Like I can't tell you how much I feel like I leveled up from January through April when I was like crazy social, right? I was working at the gym at the time, and basically I was just talking to everyone, right? I mean, I was literally working at the front desk, at the gym, and so it was basically like people would come in. It was my job to talk to them, but I was literally always on shift, like cold approaching girls. It took me like a month or two to actually start, but I kid you not, like in April, I easily cold approached 100 girls in April, and that's when this like really shifted for me. Like after like once I stepped into May, no, in May is when I cold approached like 100 girls. Um, but in June, like once I stepped into June, I just felt like a completely different person because I'd actually gotten so much external feedback from all of these women that like I'd actually had at least enough game to because I'm gonna be honest, guys, like my success rate for like a number or IG was pretty fucking high, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it real. Unless the girl had a boyfriend, right? I probably closed like half the numbers, like 50 to like 60% was like my close rate on like most girls. Now, on the follow up, in terms of like, did she hit me back? Did we actually hang out? Did we text? Did we, go on a date? Like those numbers are a lot lower, right? Because that's just how the numbers go. That's just how it goes, honestly. But I think we have to recognize that when you put so much effort into doing something, one, you become a different person because the work works on you. Then throughout that process, you're external, right? All of these women are showing you things. And it's like, if these girls are open to me, they have open body language around me, they're smiling when I'm flirting with them, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. They're actually giving me their number, right? Then they obviously are that's like feedback that I have something right. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing something correct. And I think that most guys are just clueless and just like lost when it comes to dating because they have zero feedback. Why? Because they haven't done anything. Because they don't have any of these. So they haven't go and gotten the feedback. They haven't gotten the data so they can get the feedback. My guy Adam said this is a great conversation. I thought about it the other day. Yo, Adam, you still in here, bro? Let me know what you're thinking about. I'd love to hear your thoughts, bro. But yeah, I agree, bro. Like, I think this is so important. Like, I genuinely, bro, like, I am one of I'm all about self-improvement. I'm all about spirituality. I'm all about creativity. I'm all about business, right? I'm not, much of a physical guy. I leave the physical stuff to other people. I can only do so many things. But I kid you not, I was just thinking about like, dude, all of that shit is great. None of that has shit on social and dating, bro, honestly. I kid you not. I think that like the vehicle of like dating, like if you're a masculine man, the vehicle of dating, like having relationships with women, improving your skills of dating, attraction, seduction, one of the things that even make you attractive, right? Those are like prerequisites, which is like your purpose, your own physicality, your own mentality, right? The ways you can display strength, stuff like that. But I think it's so crazy. Like so many guys never ever like have let me actually say this. Let me give this example. So I'm in my mentor's name is Hamza. I'm in his program. It's called Library of Adonis. And it's like a self-improvement program, right? And one of the guys, he had made a post talking about how he's basically like pretty attractive. He's like social guy. I mean, not no, he's not a social guy. How he's like a super locked in guy, like super disciplined, super focused, business, fitness, stuff like that, right? Guy's like a super, hardcore on self improvement, right? Awesome, locked in, respect. And honestly, like he's not like an ugly guy. Like had like a photo of him, for his like profile picture. Solid looking guy, right? He's like decently attractive. And so it's like, bro, if you just leveled up the skill of talking to people, you wouldn't even have problems. Like he made a post talking about like how he has like no women in his life, and it's because like, bro, you don't talk to anyone. That's why. Like guys think that you're gonna, get all these girls by simply having the physique or simply having the money. Those things can help for sure, but it's like at the same time, the skill of like dating, the skill of talking to women, the skill of approach, the skill of, like being present when a hot girl is talking to you. That like those are skills you have to like level up, bro. You know what I mean? Those are skills you have to get reps in. And you only get reps in them if you're actually in the field, like doing them, getting the reps. You know what I mean? So many people are just like trapped in this like paradigm of, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I just gotta make more money. I just gotta get more jacked. I just gotta get, more influence on social media, whatever. And it's like all those things help. Money helps, clout helps, the physique helps. All those things are awesome, right? But it's like at the end of the day, if you don't even have like the inner conviction that you can be the guy who can get the girl that you want, you're never gonna get her. You know what I mean? Like for me, that's the biggest difference between me pre 150, 200 approaches between January and May and me now, right? Is that I just know I'm the kind of guy that the kind of girls I like. Like I know I know they get turned on by me because I've had girls that I like tell me they get turned on by me. I've had them show me it, right? I've done the things that would prove to myself that this is the truth, right? Now I had some semblance of this belief before, because of previous proof and because of my own self conviction. But when your external mirrors these things back to you, your conviction becomes that much more like founded. You see what I'm saying? It's so like it's so important to get that external feedback. You know what I mean? Like so many people just stay trapped in this paradigm of like, if I just stay thinking about it, I'm gonna be able to figure it out. And it's like the thing is, although life, you know, although things start in the mentality, like we live in this physical plane, right? And so it's like if you want to make shit happen in the physical reality, you got to do shit in the physical reality, right? Now your mentality is important. That's important, right? But it's like at the end of the day, if you catch yourself just staying in your head all the time, then you actually need to stop investing mental energy and start investing physical energy. You see what I'm getting at? Like so many guys will see a girl that they like and they'll be like, oh man, what do I say to her? Or man, she's probably like, how do I look? Or she's probably gonna think, I'm trying to like, you're trying to think of like a one-liner to say. You're trying to think of like some cool, cute shit to say. Like, I understand all that shit. That shit is, it's understandable to have that, and that's why, like, honestly, having like a script is kind of important. You know what I mean? Now, it doesn't have to be like some fucking autistic shit. You know what I mean? Most of the time when I approach a girl, I'll be on some like, hi. And I a lot of the time, especially towards the end, I would just say like so straight, like, you're very beautiful. Or like, you're really pretty. Or like, what's your name? And because I don't have like this like insecure, like weird energy about it, like, hey, I just like wanted to tell you you're really pretty, or hi, I think you're really beautiful. Head ass. She doesn't think I'm like a pussy. When I walk up to girls and I say, hi, you're very beautiful, with a full smile, they love that shit. Right? Because they can feel that my energy is just like full. And it's like, oh shit. Right? It's like, and I love the times when I just like go straight up to a girl and she like is kind of like, it's kind of like thrown off. A lot of the time she'll feel like kind of timid, right? That's how you should be. You should want to like almost kind of like scare girls to an extent, right? Instead of being the guy who's like a pussy, who's scared of her, You should be the guy whose balls are like so huge that when you just see what you want, you go right up to her. You might like stare at her like in the eyes. You know what I mean? Actually, this is actually such a good example. Wait, let me show you guys. Oh shit. Wait. Drum. Okay. Wait. Oh fuck. Wait. I'm drawing. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do this. Okay. No, wait. Why is this upside down? Fuck. Wait, I gotta change this. Hold up. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Fuck. Let me see. Why is it sideways? What the fuck? Son of a bitch. Is that readable? I might have to close this window. No, that's probably fine. Okay, okay, okay. Let me go to let me go two. Yeah, no, this is good. All right, we got this here. You see that? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're turned. We're fucking turned, baby. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Wait, let me do this real quick. Okay. There we go. All right. So basically, this was like a month or so ago. So I was on this like college campus. I was there like reading their books and shit. And I was leaving. This is the library. I was leaving the library. I seen this girl, and she was looking cute and shit. I could just feel like her presence was just her aura just attracted me, right? So I see her like through the glass of this window. I mean, of this building. And so I'm like, ooh, I like. And so I'm like right here with it, right? Like I'm outside. I see her through the glass. You see, this is me. Me, I'm outside. Now I see her through the glass. So I kid you not, I walk straight, like I'm leaving. Like, so I was gonna be walking like this way basically. But since I see her, I want to go talk to this girl now. I'm walking, right? I walk so I can go walk into the door of the building. And I kid you not, I walk straight up to this girl, like straight up to her. And she was like, she told me she was kind of thrown off. Like I could tell, like she was kind of timid about that shit, right? Bro, that is the fucking mentality you should have, bro. You know what I mean? That's the energy you should have. You should be this guy, right? Who's just gonna fucking walk. Who's just gonna be like, yo, God gave me a pair of balls. I'm gonna use these motherfuckers. I see something I want. I'm gonna get it. That should be your mentality, bro. That should be your mentality. Because the thing is, it's like, okay, what happens if she doesn't want me? What happens if she says no, Jaden? What happens if I get rejected? Okay. Let me actually, you know what? Let me give you this, bro. Hold up. Let me cook for you real quick. Let me cook. Let me cook. Give me a sec. Let me cook. Would you rather like I'm gonna draw it on here real sec. Would you rather scenario one? Hmm. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I can't draw it over here because I don't have any actual like space over here to draw, fortunately. Okay. Would you rather? I'm trying to think. Wait, what was the scenario? Okay, 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 okay. All right, we're locked in. We're locked in. We're locked in. Okay. Wait, wait, wait. Actually, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Yeah, this is gonna make it better. This is gonna make it better. Okay, wait, this is hilarious, bro. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so we have scenario one. We have scenario one. Okay, so let's say, oh, wait, I didn't actually, okay, hold on. Give me one more sec. Give me one more sec. Okay, okay. We gotta draw the shoddy, bro. I didn't draw the shotties, bro. I'm wildin'. I didn't draw the shoddy. All right, hold on. We're gonna draw her now. Okay. Okay, right. We got the shoddy and shit. All right, you know what? The shoddy has no eyes. Fuck it. Okay, so we're here with it. So this is scenario one. So you see the girl you want, right? But you're not approaching her. You know why? Because you're a pussy. And so, oh shit, actually, let's do this. And so what's happening is all you're doing is thinking about her. Oh man, I want to talk to her. I want to talk to her. I should say this. I should say that. But then you don't. She goes away. You think about talking to her. You have those chances where you could have, but you didn't. And then you just, look, you're close. Yo, Big J, what's popping, gang? So you see this girl and you're cooked because you didn't go up to her. And so in your mind, now your mind is like, oh man, I'm such a piece of shit. I fucking hate myself. I'm such a pussy. I'm such a little bitch, man. I should have just fucking talked to her. You see what I'm saying? More negative thoughts. And so the entire experience of not, okay, hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. The entire experience of you not approaching is fucking negative. You get initial spark of desire. Ooh, I like, I want. Okay, that's positive. That's great. But then you start thinking about, oh man, what do I say to her? Or how do I say it? Or what do I do? Or what if I get rejected? Or what if I fumble? Or what if she has a boyfriend? Or what if it's the wrong time? Or blah 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 blah. Anything else your mind wants to fucking say to stop you from what you want, right? So you don't talk to her. And then you feel like even more of a bitch because you didn't talk to her. And that sucks too. Okay, so that's scenario number one. It's just L, okay? Scenario one is L, okay? All right, cool. Now, scenario two, you see this girl, you're like, you go, you're like, oh, I like her. Boom, right? You got that desire. Okay, awesome. Boom, 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 boom. So you go up to her, you talk to her, and then she dubs your shit. It's over. She doesn't want you. Maybe she's got a man. You asked her for her number. You thought, y'all was fucking with each other, but she's just like, ah, no, I'm not really interested. Maybe she just looked at you and just was like, ah, no, just don't even talk to me. Fuck it, damn, charge the game. Right? In times like that, you got to be like, damn, she doesn't want me. You can kind of like feel sad about it for a little bit. Like, that's okay. You know what I mean? You can kind of be like, fuck. Oh well. Bro, that's the mentality you need to have, bro. You have to you have to just be able to say, oh well. Oh well. You see her, you approach her, you talk to her, you just boom boom boom, make it happen. She wants you, she doesn't, regardless, you're chilling. Because here's the thing. In the scenario where you get her, I mean, you're just up, okay? You saw a girl that you wanted to approach. You approached her. You got her. You got her number. Awesome. You can take things further. Maybe you have L text game like me. You gotta get better. I actually have good text game, but my text game is weird because I don't really like texting. But I'm good at it, right? I only text girls that I actually like. And so like I've gotten tons of girls' numbers who I've like thought about texting, and I'm just like, I just don't fucking care actually. I just won't put effort into it. Or like I'll invite them to like come chill with me, and then they won't, and I'll just be like, all right, I can't be bothered to even try anymore. I don't give a fuck. So I'll just like get over it. What's the abundance mentality you need to have? So many guys have just like scarcity mindset, and that's really where this comes from. All of this just comes from scarcity mindset. All of it. If you think that there's only one girl, she's the only one, blah 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 blah. If you think there's a scarcity of women, like you're always gonna have this paradigm of, oh, but what if I lose her? Or what if I don't even get her? Or what if I have her, but then she goes, right? Like that's the what if I lose her. And it's like because we're projecting into the future, we're not even acting in the present. It's like, bro, you're literally playing on yourself before you even make any moves. It's like that's crazy. And it's like, unfortunately, that's how most of us are living. Most guys see the girl they like, and they're like, like I want her, man, but it's just like I'll just keep thinking about her. I'll just keep thinking. And maybe if I think long enough, My mind will come up with something good enough, and then my body will act. See, the thing is, you're operating from a false mentality. Your paradigm is inherently incorrect. Let me tell you why. Oh, wait, no. Okay. If you think that you can think your way into saying something or think your way into a way of acting, you're playing yourself. If you're in your mind mentally masturbating, trying to cook up a line to say to a girl rather than moving your body, then this is your paradigm. You're in hoping for a completion of anything paradigm. You think that once I have the line, then I can get her. The problem is you're not acting in the present moment, which is the only time you can get her. Right now, you're in your head instead of moving your ass so you can go talk to this girl, right? Actually start up a conversation that can hopefully lead to you getting her. But instead of actually taking the actions, right, which is getting out of the cycle, you're in mental masturbation mode. You're hoping for a completion of something. Here, let me read this real quick. Oh, don't worry about that. Stop hoping for a completion of anything in life. I'm just going to read the blurb. Most men make the error of thinking that one day it will be done. They think if I can work enough, then one day I could rest. Or one day my woman will understand something and then she will stop complaining. Or I'm only doing this right now so that one day I can do what I really want in my life. You know what that last one sounds like? I'm only thinking right now so I can go act on and do what I really want to do, which is go talk to this girl. But if you want to go talk to this girl, then what do you have to do? You have to go walk up to her and you have to look at her. You have to get her attention. You have to say things to her. She has to say things back to you. All these are actions. None of this is going to happen if you're just thinking. You see what I'm getting at here? The masculine error is to think that eventually things will be different in some fundamental way. They won't. It never ends. As long as life continues, the creative challenge is to tussle, play, and make love with the present moment while giving your unique gift. That's everything. Make love in the present moment. Tussle, play, and make love to the present moment while giving your unique gift. It's a tussle, right? But it's also play. You can love the tussle. You can love the fight. You can love the dance. You can love the battle. That's how you should see it. A lot of guys have this like all or nothing mentality when it comes to like dating, when it comes to girls. Nah, bro. You shouldn't. Because the thing is, like, women are important, but in my opinion, a lot of this comes from like the pedestalization of women in your life. Now, I'll be the first one to say that I love having women in my life. I want more in my life because women are awesome, right? I'll be the first one to like say that openly, right? But at the same time, I'm not some guy who's like life's purpose is to like get pussy or something. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, no, no. My life's purpose is actually to teach people. And I do that every day. And so it's like for me, like I prioritize my mission, right? And my purpose. I show up and I wake up and I fucking do my morning routine so I can set myself up to have the things like the habits in my life I want to have, to be the student I want to be the teacher I want to be the healer I want to be. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's always my priority. But after I do those things, in the first few hours of my day, I'll be like, damn, bro, it'd be nice to like flirt with some girls or just talk to them or do other things with them. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, like, having that desire is awesome. Like, you should own that desire. Like, that's something you have, that's something you should honor. But the thing is, like, you're never going to get to the point of like genuinely materializing that desire of I want to talk to women, of I want to have women around me, of I want to do slutty things with women, right? You're never gonna materialize those desires if you're not willing to put action behind your desire, put intention and action behind those desires. If you're not willing to use the balls that God gave you and walk up to the girl that you want to talk to, nothing's gonna happen, bro. Like, what the fuck? And so you have to be willing to like go past the limitations that the mind is trying to impose upon you. You have to be willing to be like, nah, bro, I don't want to stay trapped in this paradigm of, I have to fear talking to women or like talking to girls has to be hard or any of this bullshit, bro. Because none of that shit is true. Talking to women can be awesome, and it is awesome. Okay. I want to read a lot of this. This I want to read this post I wrote for Library of Adonis that was talking about basically like approaching and stuff like that. I don't remember someone had made a. No, I think I just wanted to write about approaching. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was actually. Why I started writing it, but I wrote this post and it's very good. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll look at it. Wait, I'm tripping. Wait, come on. All right, there. Okay. So I wrote this about a month ago when I was peak approach. When I was like approaching. Literally the title of the post is I cold approach 3 to 10 girls a day. Here's why it's so effortless. So that's my mentality, okay? It's probably what I'm gonna title I might title this video that after the live ends. So it goes like this. If you're not chasing purpose, you're likely chasing pleasure or validation. Actually, no, let me just pull this up right here. Uh, yeah, that's good. Actually, you know what? I don't. Actually, no, this is fine. If you're not chasing purpose, don't worry about this bar down here. This is school telling me I don't have any money because I don't send any money. If you're not chasing purpose, you're likely chasing pleasure or validation. Women hate pleasure goblins, bro. Trust. So you need a mission, a masculine pursuit. So this is like the prerequisite, okay? The thing is, if you don't have this like masculine purpose, this intent, damn, I didn't draw this on my thing yesterday. I wish I did. I I drew this on the whiteboard yesterday. I have pictures of it on my phone, but I don't. Can I go to my IG real quick? I go to my IG real quick, actually. Instagram. I'm logged in, right? Should be. All right, we're lit. Do brain workplace. What am I doing? Reels? No. Profile. Yeah. Okay. Yo, follow me on IG. Link in bio. Okay, this is it. So this is the guy that has a masculine pursuit at the top with the sword and the muscles. He's strong, so the girl thinks he's hot. This is the guy that doesn't have the masculine pursuit. He's the pleasure goblin. Girls think he's annoying, okay? So I'll probably read this later actually, because this is really important. Girls don't like you because you're weak. And so like kind of a prerequisite to like approach is not being a weak pussy. Because if you don't believe that you have strength in things that women would even find desirable, it's gonna be hard for you to approach a girl and feel like you deserve her number. Okay, like that's actually important. Let me actually hold on. Let me talk about that real quick. The conviction, like the self conviction, is everything, bro. If you don't believe that you are desirable to your ideal avatar, you're cooked. You're fucked. Okay, you're done. If you don't think that you can attract the kind of girls you want to attract, you won't be able to. It's that simple, bro. Right? That's just metaphysics 101. But it's like all girls can just sense your insecurity, your lack of confidence, your lack of like spine, your lack of frame, right? And it's just going to be like so apparent to them. Like you might be able to like fool them. This is something that happened to me when I was with basically like the girl who kind of like broke my heart, catalyst for me getting all the self-improvement when I was in college. I kind of attracted her with like this kind of like playboy, fuckboy frame, seduced her, which was like a natural frame for me. Like this is an aspect of me who's always been here, right? But then I had these, simp tendencies because I was so fucking emotionally attached, because I had no purpose, because I had no drive, no will for, my own self mastery, stuff like that. I got so attached to this girl, and she just started seeing me and not have this like masculine frame, and she basically just saw me as like a pussy because that's what I was, and so that turned her off. You know what I mean? And so if you don't have the conviction that you are like that cool, strong guy that girls would want, you're not going to be able to get them. And so that's kind of like the prerequisite, having the masculine pursuit. You know what I mean? Like, this is super, super important, bro. If you have no strength, right? If you have nothing going on, like you're cooked. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about this right now because this is actually like the prerequisite. So let's talk about this right now. Strength. That's what women are attracted to, okay? Like, period. It's the ability to step into unknown territory and perform in discomfort. It's the ability to inflict his will upon reality, break through any constraints or barriers that are limiting his freedom or his connection. That is what women desire, right? The guy who can take risks, the guy who can perform when it's hard, the guy who can make shit happen regardless of how he feels, the guy who can push past the hard, the guy who can take her through hell, the guy who can break through her feminine chaos into love, right? She what's it called? Oh, wait. I don't know if that changed scenes. Did this change scenes? I don't think it did. Damn it. All right, whatever. I was gonna show the thing on screen, but I don't really care anymore. Wait, do I have it posted on here? Nah, I think it's scheduled. All right, fuck it. Right. That is what women desire. It's about running at the wall so you can break through the constraint into freedom. It's about actively pursuing the death of your current self in order to receive anew. That, that, is what women are attracted to. Your masculine strength and clarity is exactly what the feminine desires to surrender into. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull this up because this is important. The feminine being inherently chaotic. Where's my pencil? Let's grab this one. The feminine being inherently chaotic, right? She wants the masculine to come and focus her, to handle her. She wants her ocean to be channeled so that she can do something with it, right? Now, all of us have masculine and feminine energy in ourselves, right? Like we all have this in us. Oh, shit. Right? And so, like, you have your own femininity that you need to master, that you need to wield, that you need to channel. Awesome. But when it comes to a, two-person dynamic, a relationship, the woman, let's say, in the feminine position, the woman with the energy wants to be led, wants to be directed, wants to be held, wants to be channeled, right? By that masculine frame. Very important. And so, like, basically, what women are testing you for or want you to display is that masculine frame. It's that strength, it's the clarity. That's your gift to her. By stepping into your masculinity, right? Stepping out of her own and stepping into your masculinity, right? She's able to surrender deeper into her own femininity, right? Your ability to create a strong masculine frame she can surrender into will be greater than what she can offer herself. This is your gift to her, right? Like inherently, a feminine woman is going to have a less like masculine desire or less like she'll have less ability to tap into the masculine essence than a masculine man will. And so it's a masculine man's gift to his woman to provide her with more masculinity than she can provide for herself, which can be valuable in terms of holding the femininity that she has. Her masculinity may not be able to hold or channel at all times or understand at all times. So that's what women are attracted to, like this ability to hold, this strength, this clarity. And this can be represented in many ways, right? Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, creative, many ways. Working out, this is physical strength, right? You're like destroying your body to build a new one, right? Reading is mental strength, where you're breaking through current ideals into new ones. Multilingual, guys kind of like guys, girls like guys who like speak multiple languages, right? This is like a social strength where you're able to break through communication or cultural constraints. This is why girls like social guys, like contextual alphas, are girls who can, I mean, guys who can talk well, guys who are good at speaking, or like this is why comedians are good, right? Because inherently, like speaking means you can break through like social constraints. If you're good at communicating, you're able to influence and impact people. That is strength. That's strength. Strength is all about your ability to like inflict your will upon reality. Chess. Girls like guys who play chess, right? This is like these are all like examples from like a video that I saw. Some girl's videos popped off talking about like hobbies that girls find attractive. And I made this was originally a comment into that video because so many guys were like talking shit about her, like, oh, you don't need to change, or like I'm not gonna like change my life just to please the women. And she's like, obviously, like don't do any of that. I'm trying to make these guys understand it's like it's not exactly about the hobbies themselves. It's about what they represent, right? Which is why I'm trying to show these guys, hey, chess is mental strength, multilingual social strength, reading is mental strength, right? Musicians, there's like a creative strength, right? Or even emotional. Emotional strength can be like presence, your ability to listen, your ability to be there for her, like in terms of your ability to like hold. I need to like define holding space. For me, it's I have such a clear intuitive understanding of it, especially because I do it so much. But it's hard to put into words, hard to articulate. We'll have to keep cooking on that one. But basically, the I'll wrap this up real quick. Musician, creative strength, breaking through emotional barriers to a sense of oneness. It's less about the specific tasks and more about what those vehicles represent, like I said. It's less about these specific things and more about you displaying that you're a masculine guy. It's about displaying that you're a man who can be confident in the face of the unknown. Displaying that you're a man who can be, displaying that you're a man who can inflict his will upon reality. Displaying that you're a man who can make shit happen, right? So extrapolate this into your life and see how you can become stronger in areas that are authentic to you, right? You shouldn't just be doing any random shit, right? Like, don't change your life to please women. No. Live a more authentic version of your life. And if some of that is fueled by the desire to have women and to attract women, that's fucking awesome. Honor those desires and use the fuel that they give you because I promise you it's going to give you fuel. So, like me personally, right? You see me, I'm a scrawny motherfucker, right? But like, girls still think I'm hot, right? Why? Because I leverage intellectual, emotional, spiritual, creative strength. I am an attractive guy too. That's also true. The most, right? But those are like the things I mainly leverage, right? Like outside, like my physicality is not really what I demonstrate. I demonstrate strength in basically every other area. And I love that because I am into the spiritual, creative, intellectual mommies, right? Those are my girls, right? Who love getting mind fucked by my spiritual philosophy or melt, when they hear my poetry or my singing. Those are my girls, right? And so I understand what my girls like. And so I show them that. I show them how I'm strong in the ways that they would find attractive. That's the whole game, being strong. So be strong at shit that you think is cool, and then do it in front of women, perform in front of women, display your strength, display your competence, like on social media, and then girls that like you will think you're hot as fuck. Or girls that like what you got think you're hot as fuck. Girls that like the sword and the muscles, the strength that you display, right? Girls that like that you sing, girls that like that you lift, girls that like that you're a philosopher, whatever. Girls that like those things will think you're hot if you're good at those things. So get good at them. Be competent. Be confident. That's the game. That's the prerequisite. You know what I mean? Because without that, you'll never get to this. You won't have like that conviction. Now the thing is, I'm not telling you have 1,000,000% conviction and then go start cold approaching girls. No, shut the fuck up. Start cold approaching today. Don't be a pussy. But the thing is, it's very hard to have like that deep sense of conviction when you're not a guy that like when you don't feel desirable or attractive. Now, this doesn't have to be in terms of like physicality. This can be in terms of like, hey, I'm a guy who's ambitious. Girls love ambitious guys. I'm a creative guy who's like, who works hard, who grinds. Awesome. Whatever it is, you just need that thing. You need to feel like you have something that positions you uniquely that girls would like, right? You need to set yourself apart. That's important. And so you need, the prerequisite here is a mission, a masculine pursuit. because that's kind of like what I was getting at, this display of strength, this display of competence. You need to be someone who is desirable and knows that they are a valuable individual. For the last 2 weeks, well, no, this is a month ago, but I've cold approached 3 to 10 women a day, and I've basically gotten a number or IG every day as well, right? Thing is, I know I'm a cool, smart, sexy, emotionally aware, spiritually intelligent, hilarious as fuck, extremely sexy, just had to double down, and I'm an influencer, right? So, like, I know I have all these hot and attractive things, right? Even with my 1K YouTube audience, my 130-person email list, 400 followers on IG, right? Whatever, that's not crazy numbers. But I have influence over people. Not to say that you need to be an influencer, right? But you need to display strength, competence. That's what women want to surrender into. Women want the firm guy who's going to hold frame. That's why she tests you, to see if she can shake your frame. If you can, that means you're too weak to handle her. She now thinks you're a bitch. Tragic, because women don't want pussies. So stop being one. Your personal development is the prerequisite to successful dating, guys. Focus on yourself and shed your lack paradigms. To do the inner work and the outer work, both are equally important. Let me talk about that, right, actually. Your personal development is the prerequisite to successful dating. So, this is what I was talking about. If you have lack paradigms around yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm bad, I'm unworthy, whatever, and then you're trying to look to girls to fill that hole, right? You're fucked. If you look to girls to give you the love that mommy never gave you, you are already fucked. You need to go find God and find the love of God in yourself. That's the most important first step. The inner work and the outer work, the personal development, the self improvement, the inner work, the healing. That's everything, bro. Because if you don't have that, you won't have the conviction that you're the kind of guy who can attract the people you want to attract. Here's the thing, right? I was asking myself this, like two months ago, and it just came to me. This is why this like you need to feel desirable. You need that conviction. This is where this stems from. I was thinking, I'm like, bro, why is it so easy for super beautiful women, for high level guys, to just attract people so effortlessly, to attract, a ton of, sexual opportunity, to even attract a lot of business opportunity, right? And I'm just like, bro, it's so obvious. They have conviction that they're desirable. They know people want what they got. The fuck? You know what I mean? And it's like when you genuinely know that people want what you got, and that people should want what you got, and that people would want what you got, it's hard it's hard to feel like phased when someone doesn't want what you got because it's like, oh, okay, well, you don't want it, but some other people will. Like for me, rejection is awesome. Every L I take gets me closer to a next W. That's my mentality around rejection. I'm just collecting L's. I'm collecting L's. Every girl that dubs me, ah, damn, I'm up now actually, because I'm now a step closer to the next girl that wants me. Like, what are you talking about, bro? This entire life shit is all in here, bro. Reality is perception. Now, of course, we live in the physical plane. We have to like do shit here, right? But in terms of your experience, like I talked about earlier, it's all mental. But that doesn't mean that it solely is, derived or we're solely bound to the mental, right? Because obviously you can stay trapped in the mental plane and then never do things in physical reality, right? But when you shift your mentality, your physicality shifts. Actually, you know what? I even think, hmm, this is interesting. Hold up, click with me for a second. So when you're mentally masturbating, when you're thinking about something for like too long, too hard, whatever, you're like, damn, bro, shit is whack. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me hop over here real quick. Shit is whack. I want this, but I can't have it. Or I think I want to do this, or I think I should do this, but whatever's going on, right? That's because your mind is going like it's there's too much mental energy, right? Basically, The only way you're going to actually take action from that point is not by investing more mental energy. It's by cutting mental energy entirely and then just doing things. It's just, okay, I'm going to stop thinking about writing. I'm going to stop thinking about the words I'm going to say. I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to start typing. I'm going to stop thinking about the things I want to draw. I'm going to pick up the pencil and I'm just going to fucking draw 'em. I'm just literally going to start moving the fucking marker, whatever, right? I'm gonna stop thinking about what I'm trying to say to this girl or that I want this girl. And I'm just gonna move my legs and hope that my mouth says something good enough when I go up to her and talk to her. Hope. That's what you gotta do, bro. You just gotta move. The thing is, that's not like devoid of mentality. It's not like separate from mentality. That's actually you recognizing I need to cut mentality and just go into physicality. But it's still a mindset of like I need to stop investing mental energy into what I'm currently investing it in, cut all that bullshit, and then invest my energy solely into this like pursuit that I want to take in the physical plane. And a lot of that does involve like turning your brain off. That's what I like to say. But it's not that it's completely separate from like the mental whatever. A lot of guys are just insecure. That's really what it is. A lot of guys are just insecure. That's really why you just can't get girls. And the thing is, you can be insecure for a couple reasons. You can be insecure because you have like lack of skill, like you just have no confidence in your skill, or you can be insecure because you think that you are bad, right? So there's like it's like two different things, right? So you can lack conviction in your product and your marketing. This is why business is the best. So your product, that's like the value, that's the thing you're trying to get people to want to sell. That's you. You're the product. Your marketing or your positioning is how you're showing up in the world. It's how you're talking to people. It's like actually approaching girls. It's positioning yourself on social media as like, as a guy who is competent that attracts people, whatever. That's your marketing, your positioning. Now, you can have lack of confidence in your positioning or in your marketing. Like, I don't feel confident that I can go cold approach girls. I don't feel confident that my content strategy is going to work to give me the subscribers that I want. You see what I'm saying? You can have a lack of confidence in your positioning. You can also have a lack of confidence in your product. Your product being the content itself, like the video itself, right? The product being you. I am not good enough, right? When you think that you're not good enough, you're not going to get anything because you don't believe you're desirable. You don't believe you're worthy. Why would anyone else believe it? Now, some other people might see it. Excuse me. Shit. Some other people, will recognize you for greater potential. They'll see the truth of you rather than what you believe to see. But most people will just reflect back to you what you're showing them, what you're giving off. And most of the time that's just insecurity because most people are insecure. Most people have been told you're not good enough. Most people have had their desires repressed. Most people have had their expression repressed. Most people have had their personalities repressed. Most people have had their goals and their visions and their dreams repressed. And so they are repressed. Makes sense to me. The tragic part of that is that, unfortunately, other things have to like come, in like to replace, those other parts of yourself. That's like where the false self identity comes in rather than like your unique self. And when you're operating out of like false self paradigms, you're just in a place where you're living a life that is reflecting things that are false, that are illusions, that aren't of your truth. And that feels bad. You see what I'm saying? Like whenever we're like living an illusion, it's usually not great. Now, of course, there's always fuck, I'm tired. Of course, there's always illusion to an extent when it comes to, this 3D reality. But I think we need to recognize, like, damn, bro, I'm allowing myself to stay trapped in this lack paradigm. I'm allowing myself to stay trapped in this victim paradigm. That's what it is. It's a choice. You are allowing yourself because you don't have to be that way. But it's everyone's own journey to like find that agency in themselves. But that's everything. That's the first thing you need. Because if you lack that conviction in yourself, it doesn't have to be like I'm fully there. It's I'm working towards becoming the most actualized version of myself. And the thing is, maybe you feel like you don't have the current capacity to really hold, relationships, and that's fine. But you should still be approaching, because the skill of marketing is separate from the skill of like product. Now, the thing is, you're not going to get any sales at all with no conviction in your product. Okay? Even if it's delusional conviction in your product or conviction in a false product, right? If you don't believe in what you got, you're not going to get nothing. But even while you lack conviction in your product, you can still improve your skill of positioning, of marketing. You can still improve your cold approach skill. And the thing is, as you do this, you'll actually improve your product because you'll be improving your confidence. You'll be improving your social skills. You'll be improving your dating, your seduction, just your ability to talk to people in general. That is going to make your product better. That's going to give you more confidence. And it's going to help your positioning game as well. And so by taking action, even when you don't feel 100% confident in what you have right now, you become more confident in what you have right now and in your ability to take action. So you should be cold approaching. You just also have to understand that doing the work, the inner work, which is like your self beliefs and your paradigms, but also the outer work. Like if your physical appearance, like if you're like a fat motherfucker and you don't like your appearance, or you're super scrawny and you like think you're like an ugly piece of shit, or you just don't like how you look. If you don't like how you look, if you don't think you're attractive, that's going to stop you. Now, if you don't give a fuck about how you look and you're like, man, I can still pull, fuck it. And you actually have conviction that you might be able to still pull. You probably will. Like fat guys fuck. Skinny guys fuck. Like, come on, girl. All kinds of guys can get pussy. It's just about if you have the things that women are looking for. There's a psychologist on YouTube. His name is Dr. Orion Taraban, Psych Hacks, and he has this concept called like the three things that will actually get you laid. Like there are a lot of proximities that a lot of guys think go for. Oh yeah, status. Oh yeah, money. Oh yeah, uh, the physique, whatever. Those are just proximities, though. Like those things can get you closer to women. Those things will get women closer to you. But those things won't actually get you laid. What you need to get laid is confidence to be able to engage a woman's emotions and to be a contextual alpha. Confidence, the ability to engage her emotions, being a contextual alpha. All of these are signs of masculine frame presence, of an ability to hold her femininity. If you can show her that, then she can get with you. Most guys don't have that because they internally don't believe that about themselves. They haven't done the external work to forge themselves. They haven't put themselves through the alchemist fire. They haven't put themselves through a fitness season or a business season or a creative season or a dating season, whatever. Something that made them become something new. You haven't done the inner work or the outer work. And so you're not strong. Girls don't think you're hot. Maybe you should do something about that. All right, cool. Now we can actually talk about approaching. So, only from your own abundance can you cultivate an abundant relationship with girls. That's a great way to just like end like first section with like the inner work, the outer work, how you need conviction in yourself. That's like product, right? Now this is about positioning, marketing, right? Reps, 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 reps. So one of my students asked me for a dating challenge. I told him to give 5 genuine compliments, guy or girl. This is how you start. You don't start with like cold approaching girls, okay? Cold approaching, like just straight up cold approaching is basically like too hard. You know what I mean? It's like too high of a weight. That's like if you just hopped in the gym, like that's if like my scrawny ass tried to like bench 200 pounds or some shit. It's like I can't bench 200 pounds, bro. Now I can bench like 130, 140. Right? Okay, awesome. But I can't go for 200, right? This is not gonna happen. And so it's like I have to recognize the weight I can currently handle and then progressively overload. Cold approaching a girl has you in mental masturbation mode because it's too hard. And so don't even think about cold approaching a girl right now. Do other things that are social, that break through that like mental barrier, that like social barrier, right? The best way I did this and that I recommend to people is compliments. You see a guy training hard at the gym, you walk up to the guy, you say, "Hey, good set, bro." Give him a fist bump. Go about your day. Simple. You see someone with a dope graphic tee or some nice shoes that you like, hey, tell him, "Hey, bro, I like your shirt." Or, "Oh, those are nice shoes, bro. Them shit's fire. Fuck with your kicks, bro." Simple. Just tell him like that, right? Obviously, tell him how you tell him. You probably don't have Jersey slang like I do, right? You see a beautiful girl, you go up to her and you tell her, "Hi, I think you're very beautiful. You have a good day, okay?" Honestly, you can like literally, I've literally just gone up to girls and just say, "Hi, I think you're very beautiful." They'll tell me thank you, and I literally just smile and I walk off. You can just do that. Just give people compliments. Don't even expect nothing back. Have like give people compliments with the intention to give the compliment and then end the conversation right there, right? Like don't try to even make the conversation longer than it has to be or longer than you think it should be. Just give it and then end it right there. That's a win. That's a check. Okay? Practice shooting compliments off the hip at all times. Just practice shooting off the hip at all times. Just practice speaking to people. When you walk past somebody, like say let's say you're outside walking. When I walk past people, I either always like if it's like a guy, I'll like, give him like the nod. If it's like a woman, I'll like give her like a smile. Sometimes I'll say good morning. Like today I was walking to the park. I saw this lady, she was working in her yard. I said good morning to her. She said good morning back. Super simple. Just practice shooting off the hip. Because when you practice shooting off the hip and you practice talking to people in general, it'll apply your confidence in game in the cold approach, regardless of if the compliments are platonic or sexual. Right? Regardless of if you're talking to guys or girls, giving platonic or sexual compliments, it's going to help your cold approach game. Okay? And so here's like a how to shoot off the hip for noobs, right? So one, you observe things about people. You see things. Oh, she has nice hair. Oh, he has a cool shirt. Oh, those are nice bracelets. Oh, her smile is nice. Oh, she has, a cute uh, laugh, whatever. Anything. You observe things about people. You recognize a genuine interest, curiosity, or appreciation, right? So those were all like appreciations, right? The compliments. But maybe it's an interest, like, huh, that's an interesting shirt, or huh, that's an interesting hair color, or I wonder why they did this with this, right? And so you say the fucking thing instead of keeping it in your head like a social autist, right? That's step three. Very simple. One, observe. Two, recognize. Three, speak instead of thinking. Now, most of the time, this can just be a compliment. Maybe you'll start asking questions, right? Sometimes I'm trying to think of like an example if I ever like ask somebody a question, like the first thing I said to them. I don't know, probably. But just say things. Stop keeping things in your head. I'm sure there are times throughout the day where you see something and you're like, where you see somebody and you're like, oh man, like I love, something they're wearing. Or, I really like that thing they had to say. Maybe it's like someone in your class, they said something, and it was smart. Or, that joke they said was like hilarious. And you're like, go up to them and be like, bro, you're so fucking hilarious, dude. Like, just fist bump. Like, oh yeah, what's your name, bro? Like, we should like, like hop on Xbox later or some shit. Whatever. Like, if that's like a someone in your class or if it's a girl. And Like, let's say you like go up to a girl, right? This is something that I've kind of like trained myself to do. When I have like a compliment arise in my mind, like something I like about when I'm talking to girls, this happens just pretty naturally, where I like observe things and I recognize things that I appreciate, like, oh man, she has such like a beautiful smile, or she has such pretty eyes, or she has a really nice voice, right? I'll just tell her I like those things, or I'll just tell her like, oh, you have such pretty eyes, or your hair is so beautiful, or you're just gorgeous. It just feels so effortless. You know what I mean? It feels like you're recognizing her rather than like pedestalizing her, right? Rather than like worship. Inner work and self improvement, right? Have that self conviction, right? And step two is reps. Now, really, step one and two should be done simultaneously, right? You should always be getting more and more confident, convicted in your product, and you should always be improving your positioning, your marketing, your skills. Always. Every girl you're even moderately attracted to, and interact with as many people as possible, even if it's just very briefly, right? Good morning, or fist bump, or oh yeah, good set, bro, or oh yeah, you look very beautiful today, or I just really like your hair. Whatever. Pretty simple. All right. This is a funny story. So I saw a cutie at the store and I rizzed her up and I got her number. And when I checked my phone and I left the store, I saw this. So I'd had her like text me her name from her phone. Oh shit, I shouldn't be showing that. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. I forgot the number was in there. Okay, guys, don't like be weird about that. That's funny, bro. That's funny as fuck. Okay, so that's the sauce, bro. It's the sauce. I need you guys to have this like mindset of product and marketing. Okay, the product, need to know that I am good, right? I need a good product. This is like business 101, right? In business, you're never going to get sales if you don't think that what you're trying to sell people is good, right? Quick plug, what I'm going to sell you real quick is pretty good. It's my Substack subscription. You come, you get access to my two courses, Mental Alchemy 101, Black to Boundless. Those are mindset and creativity courses for creatives who want to understand themselves, unblock their creativity, shift their mindsets so that they can actually become more consistent and fulfilled creators. And then I'm also dropping exclusive teachings through exclusive podcasts, and you come get access to our Substack group chat as well. That's like exclusive to paid subscribers. So that's for 33 bucks a month or 222 a year. Um, and then I also have like a third tier where if you sign up for 555 a year, then you get access to my one-to-one like text coaching. I don't really like doing one-to-one calls like monthly basis. If you want to pay me for a call for like a 30-minute or 60-minute, just like one off, that's cool. But I really just like texting or like sending voice memos. That's really like the main asset. So if you find my content valuable and you're like, damn, bro, I really want to make some more plays. I really want to take some real action to start like making change in my life. Mental Alchemy, like the courses, will give you the guidance. But if you want some closer access to me, sign up for the Substack founding subscription. That's what it is. So in business, you have product, you have marketing, right? So like for me, my product is my Substack paid subscription. I have conviction in my subscription because I know that it is good. I know that the things I've taught in there are valuable and can help people, right? Product in dating is you. You have to know that who you are is desirable. It's what the people would want. So like for me, I know I'm a physically attractive guy, right? Now, do would all girls be into me? No, but that doesn't matter. Right? Because I don't care. I know that I'm a very intellectual and smart guy. A lot of girls really like that. I'm a very emotionally intelligent guy. A lot of girls really like that. I'm a very spiritually aware guy. The spiritual mommies that I really like that. I'm a creative, I'm an artist. I write poetry, I sing. The girls I really like that. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like for me, I know I'm the kind of guy that the girls I like find desirable. And so you kind of have to understand the girls that you actually like. Like, who's your ideal avatar? Right? Man, like dating principles and business principles, kid you not, bro. But you have to understand your ideal avatar so that you can understand what you need to present or market or position so that those people see you and then they find your product valuable. And so you have to understand, okay, well, I have this product, me. Do I believe in my product? Do I think I'm desirable for my ideal avatar? If not, you got to work on that. The inner work, the outer work. Awesome. If you do feel like you're desirable, but you're like, Jaden, I still don't got no girls, you're just a pussy. You need to go approach. You need to level up your skill. You need your marketing, right? Like in old days, marketing, like the cold approach. Okay, actually, here's like the perfect like ways. Like when it comes to getting girls, like unless you're using dating apps, which you can, cold approach and social media are like the only ways you're gonna like really attract girls, right? You're gonna get girls. Social circle as well. Social circle is also true, but let's just talk about social media and cold approach right now. Cold approach is basically like cold DMs in business or like door knocking. Like you're just going to people's doors and you're just door knocking. You're literally knocking on doors trying to see if people want to fucking buy fucking what's that shit called? Solar panels or some shit, right? You're fucking door to door solar panel salesman. That's like cold approach. Cold approach is not very effective, right? But at the end of the day, if you see somebody in real life that's a prospect in real life, you might as well go talk to them, right? Now, the higher leverage vehicle is content, which literally is like the same thing, social media, right? In business, you can send cold DMs, and spend, like an hour sending fucking, I don't know, 10 cold DMs. You can spend an hour sending 10 cold DMs, or you can spend an hour making a podcast. And instead of reaching 10 people with 10 cold DMs, you can reach 100 people with a podcast, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, right? Way higher leverage for the same time. And so, Instagram or social media in general, just attracting an audience of people to you is the high leverage way to attract women into your life, right? And so positioning yourself on social media is a super potent tool. But at the same time, cold approach and just meeting women in your real life, that's also a sales tactic, right? And so you have to actually recognize like how you can do both because you should want to do both. In the modern era, in my opinion, you do actually need both. You should be positioning yourself properly on Instagram, on social media, and you should be like cold approaching. You should be like trying to get girls in person as well. That's everything because that makes you one improve your product so that you can position yourself well on Instagram, but also it forces you to work on your actual code approach game in person as well. That's going to build you up and get you to the best place, in my opinion. You should have the dual dating and networking strategy of in person and online, right? You should network with people in line. You should, have like business opportunities in line. You should have sexual opportunities in line. I meant in person. In person, and you should have all those things online as well, right? Online and in person should be how you play it. That's the move, bro. That's the move. All right, probably gonna wrap this up soon. This is a good yap sesh. Ooh, I gotta update my calendar so I can put like dating in my thing. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end this bitch. This is cool. We'll have more yap sessions for sure. Peace.